Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome Prof. Karim and thank Prof. Karim for willing to do this sharing session with all IIUM staff today. It is going to be a quick but concise sharing session from Prof. Karim regarding future-proofing our education through micro-credentials. So, Prof. Karim, tak perlu diintroduce lagi. Everyone, I believe everyone know him, what he already contribute to the education world. So, without further ado and without wasting any more time, it's already 10:03 AM. I would like to hand over the floor to Prof. Karim to conduct the sharing session. Please, Prof, carry on.
Terima kasih Dr. Aizat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera kepada semua sahabat-sahabat akademik di UIA. Terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur UIA kerana sudi menjemput saya lagi untuk berkongsi dengan dengan tuan-tuan dan puan semua on this topic. And this is actually the topic given to me by the organizer. I just changed a little bit. The original one is actually future-proofing our education. So I changed it to higher education through micro-credentials. I remember last year or year before, I think I was invited also to UIA to share a topic on micro-credential. So this is actually more or less the same thing because as Dr. Aizat mentioned just now, it's going to be short and concise, 1 hour session this morning. I will try to make it within 45 minutes. I put a timer here so that we have about 15 minutes for Q&A. And because it is very short, my plan this morning is to give you an overview or just kind of introduction to the what and why of micro-credential and not so much of the how. Although by now, after like 2 years, I think when we started talking about micro-credential, I can see several universities now, public and private universities, are already embarking or developing micro-credential. But I have not seen many who have rolled out and complete one full cycle of micro-credential, including my previously my USM, where I was from. We still have not seen the so-called success stories because it's still, I would say, still early days. I believe in probably 1 or 2 years from now, we can start to see some success stories. So because this is going to be very short and concise, more of an overview and introduction, assuming that some of the participants may have not really exposed to micro-credential, the concept, the philosophy. So I have actually almost 200 slides, but don't worry, it's impossible to cover all the 200 slides. I'm going to kind of touch on some important points, and then I will share with you the whole presentation. I will give you the link to download at the end of this session, okay? So I hope you can find time later after the session to go through all the slides so that we can get a more complete pictures of what micro-credential is about, why we want to embark on micro-credential, and why UIA perhaps should consider to embark on micro-credential in big time. What are the strategic direction of micro-credential? We must understand why we want to do it. What are the prospects and opportunities? What are the possible challenges, and so on, okay? Now, so These are basically what I'm going to cover very quickly. What and the why of micro-credential. To me, this is very important to set the scene and for us to really understand and appreciate why would what we want to do micro-credential. And then I'm going to explain what is micro-credential and specifically on the concept of stackable credential and how we can so-called modularize the existing accredited program. Of course, we can also do micro-credential on non-accredited program. And what are the prospects and opportunities? Now, let's look at some statistics. You can see this full report on the website called Class Central. And this 2020, you can find the reports on MOOC, MOOC, Massive Open Online Courses, and also on Micro-Credential. And these statistics are actually covers some of the main online platforms such as Coursera, EDX or edX, FutureLearn. Yeah, these are some of the three big platforms out there that offer online program. So as you can see, in 2020, we have 950 universities offering their online program in the form of MOOC, MOOC, and also in the form of micro-credential. And these 950 universities, majority are from the US, and some of them, many of these universities are Ivy League universities, reputable universities, and some from European countries as well, some from China. But from Malaysia, I don't think we have universities offering any program on Coursera or edX. And we can see 180 million students from around the world, from all over the world, taking this program. There are 16.3K, 16,000 courses on the platform, and 1,180 micro-credential, and 67 MOOC-based degrees. Now, that was in 2020. In 2021, you can see here, from 180 million, we have 220 million. From, well, we still have 950 universities, but we have increased from 60,000 to 90,000, almost 20,000 courses, 1,670 micro-credential, and 70 MOOC-based degrees. So you can see the numbers are increasing, the numbers are expanding. And this is on 2021, but we don't have a statistic for 2022. Now we are at the end of 2023. So can you see the online education, online program is getting more and more attention, more and more universities are offering their program on these various platforms. I think all universities in Malaysia now should also envision to produce a number of micro-credential or MOOC on this international platform so that we can give visibility to our universities, visibilities to our academic program. That is the way forward. And during the pandemic, we saw an explosion of online learning, because at that time we don't have much. We don't have a choice. Basically, we have to go online, fully online. So this is where courses on Coursera, edX, and other platform out there getting more and more students. You can see here in 2019, 8 million. In 2020, the peak of the pandemic increased from 8 million to 31 million on Coursera. But post-pandemic is slowing down from 31 million to 21 million. So we can see also the trend on other platform like edX, 5 million to 10 million, 100% increase to 7 million post-pandemic. Yeah. So now let's talk about our topic today, future-proofing higher education through micro-credential. But first of all, what does future-proofing means? I think now become buzzword also. We talk about future-proof, future-ready. So what does this mean? So this is what this is where micro-credential comes in. We want to understand how micro-credential can really future-proof education or higher education. So we have to understand at the outset, education and higher education and workforce are changing. So when we talk about education and the workforce, moving forward, we will see a lot of change. We will see the traditional universities would have to change and transform to cater to accommodate for the new needs of the workforce, the new demands in terms of the skill set. So where the universities now cannot design an academic program just to develop a specific skill set. The reason being, the skill sets are keep changing dynamically. We wouldn't know what kind of jobs would be needed in the next few years. So we have seen, headlines like this on the website, on the internet. For example, this one on one of the website here. Apple, IBM, and Google don't care anymore if you went to college, because what they want now, this big corporation, what they want now is not. They want a specific skill set that would cater for their needs, for their demand. So they don't need like a 4-year degree, which give a general kind of knowledge, but what they want is a specific skill set. So we can see also other headline like this one. Big Four look beyond academics. Firms wants to make offers based on potential rather than personal circumstance. So now the employers, the industries, the corporation, what they want to see in the potential candidate to hire is the potential that they can develop or the specific skill set that they need immediately and they can further develop to serve their needs. Okay. I have problem to advance the. Ya, macam jam pula. Sekejap ya. Okay. Now, there's another headline here. 15 more companies that no longer require a degree apply now. So, it seems like now we can say that in this VUCA world where everything is unexpected, ambiguous, volatile, everything is changing dynamically, a 4-year degree doesn't seem or doesn't give a true depth of one's competency. So nowadays we talk about competency-based rather than a time-based degree. Okay, so there's a book, College Disrupted, if you like to read, The Great Unbundling of Higher Education. And in this book, I quote, "A degree doesn't say a lot. A digital badge or micro-credential can say a lot more." So what micro-credential are signaling is the shift from degree-based hiring to competency-based hiring. So this is how our industry is changing now. Like we saw just now, Google, IBM, and so on. They are looking for a specific skill set. They are looking for the potential in the candidate that they can develop further to align with the demands or the needs of the particular company or industry. So when we talk about future-proofing education, what we really mean here is a type of education, a type of academic program that we can design so that when our graduates go out to the workforce, they are a person that can adapt, adaptable. Someone is adaptable. Someone is agile. Someone that can kind of cater the need of the immediate need of the workforce. So we are talking here about flexibility, flexible and inclusive education through digital learning, digital education. So digital is the way forward. So we are moving now from a traditional credentialing, which basically the 4-year degree or the 3-year diploma. That is a traditional, so-called traditional credential system, where the students would have to go through the 4-year or 3-year, 8 semesters or 6 semesters, collect the full 120 credits before they are able to get a degree or graduates. So it's a time-based. It's all or nothing. They cannot graduate with even 1 credit less. So we are moving from this so-called traditional credentialing, so-called credit certification model, to a more flexible, stackable credential strategy. So this is where the micro-credential comes in, and this is where the flexibility comes in. So we are talking about the new credentialing system. Micro-credential is about new credentialing system as opposed to the traditional credentialing system. The degree program that we have now, this is a traditional credentialing system, time-based. So we are moving here into the so-called new credentialing system as self-directed learning continues to expand. Because now people can learn on their own, self-paced learning. They can learn on demand. So the transition from transactional, so-called transactional learning to a culture of lifelong learning. Anyone can learn anytime, 24/7. It's not limited to learning within a confine of the campus or the physical classroom, but you can learn while you are working. You can, even the housewife, even the pensioners, they can continue to learn. That is what lifelong learning is about. And to provide this, we need to provide a so-called flexible kind of education system, flexible learning, flexible education, and this is what micro-credential is about. So this is what we call learning on demand, LOD. Anytime, anywhere. Okay, not just in case. Our degree program is just in case program because we stuff everything in the 4-year curriculum, expecting that the students, when they graduate, they will use all the knowledge they learned during 4 years. But it turned out that, from research, it has been shown that only 10 to 20% what they have learned in the formal education, formal learning environment, only 10 to 20% that they will use in the actual work, in the actual workplace. So that's just in case kind of curriculum. So we are moving towards more flexible program like Micro-Credential, where we can provide just in time, when I need it, just enough, and just for me, personalized learning. Okay, just in time, just enough, and just for me. So Micro-Credential would allow us to build a so-called learning playlist and to tailor or customize to one's immediate need, just in time. Yeah. So why Micro-Credential? Because Micro-Credential can provide a more flexible program. It's all about flexibility, accessibility, affordability, and providing more options. So like our 4-year degree program, once the student enroll, that's it. You are you have to stay for 4 years. You have to take like 20 credits maximum per semester, and you have to go sequentially. Whatever the courses offered this semester, this you have to take. So there is no flexibility. It's quite rigid. Yeah. Compare this to Micro-Credential, where we can kind of design the whole program to make it more modular, and we can design it in such a way that each module is standalone, so that if I'm only interested to take this module rather than the whole package, I can still do that. Okay, so maybe the whole package would lead to a certificate of something, or diploma, or even a degree. So where I can bundle the whole module into one complete module, one complete program that the university can award the person a degree or diploma. So if I so choose to do that, I can do that. But if I'm not interested to take the whole package, I'm just interested to take a few modules, I can still do that, because the module, each module have been designed or should be designed to be standalone. So this is where the flexibility comes in. So the concept is like in the old days, you have to buy the whole album to listen to all the song, 12 song or whatever in the album. Yeah, although only 1 or 2 songs that I like. So, but now when Apple introduced the iTunes, now the users can choose to buy only certain song. So we can go to Spotify or iTunes. We can buy 1 song or 2 songs that we like. We don't have to buy the whole album. So similarly, I don't have to take the full 4-year degree program and pay for the full program. But if I'm just interested to take 1 or 2 courses or 1 or 2 modules, I can still do that. The same concept. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, the what of Micro-Credential. Of course, there is a detail here. You can, when you get the slide, you can read all this in more detail. But basically, there are 4 important points about how Micro-Credential can provide the flexibility, and therefore we can design a future-proof program, because we can change, we can modify easily because it's modular. So it's modular. Modules are the building blocks of the Micro-Credential. A 14-week course, for example, can be divided into several standalone segments, each between 1 to 4 hours, and each module can have several bite-sized lessons, and this makes learning more manageable and the price more affordable. So instead of paying 10,000 for the whole degree program, I can now choose which kind of package in the whole degree program that I'm interested in. I'm going to show you one example from MMU, which I think are very good to illustrate the concept of modular and the concept of stackable. Then it provides flexible pathway. Okay, learners have a choice to take only several modules from a bundle of modules that make up a complete course or make up a complete program. Alternatively, they can take all the modules to get, say, a full certificate. And this flexibility allows learners to set their own learning pathway. In other words, learners have total control and take full responsibility of their own learning. And learning on demand, I've explained just now, competency-based instead of time-based. And Micro-Credential, upon completion, learners will get a digital badge as a recognition of learning, or evidence of learning, or evidence of competency. A lot of information can be embedded in digital badge, including the learning artifact, a sample of assignment, and so on. Because as opposed to paper certificate or paper transcript, a digital badge is a digital file. So we can actually stuff anything that we want, so that the digital badge can serve as a mini e-portfolio. So the prospective employer, they can just read the QR code so that they can get the full information, the profile, and evidence of competencies of the candidate. So this serve actually provide a lot more useful information compared to paper, certificate, or transcript, which give only grade A, the grades only. Yeah. So the power of micro-credential, or because it provides opportunities for personalized learning, because learners now have the opportunity to learn in ways that suit their individual learning preference and multiple intelligences. They can learn at their own pace, because people have different kind of ability to learn. So the slower learner maybe will take their own sweet time, whereas the fast learner, they can learn also very fast, to complete the whole package or the whole program quickly. So the concept of micro-credential, just like the concept of buying only the song that we like, choose the song that we like on Spotify, we can create playlists. The same thing like we create a playlist on YouTube, all the videos that we like in the same category, we can put them in the one playlist, so that when we want to watch again, we want to listen, we can go to the playlist. Okay. But now the new concept of learning now with micro-credential, anyone now can choose whatever modules that they like from different platforms, from different education providers, training providers, and they can create their own playlist. For example, if I want to learn a new skill, how to write a novel. Now, after my retirement, I feel like I want to write a novel, but I don't have a skill to write a novel. So I will find all the online courses, online program on how to write a novel, and I can create my own so-called learning playlist. And if I want to get a proper certificate as a recognition or evidence of learning, evidence that to show that I have a qualification to write a novel, I can go and find any program on any platform that would give me that certificate, that will give me like a diploma or something. But I can learn in a very flexible way. I can choose to learn wherever I like, when I have the mood, when I have the money to pay, and so on. That's a very beautiful, powerful concept of learning playlist. Sometimes we call it a curated playlist. That's what micro-credential can provide. So now, that's the what and the why of micro-credential. So if you want to embark on micro-credential, whether at the institutional level, or at the faculty level, department level, or individual level, first you have to start with a very clear value proposition. What is the value proposition? The why behind it? Who is the target group? What value can you offer through your micro-credential program? Don't just blindly go because everyone is doing it, so let's do it. No, you must be very clear what value you want to offer, and what is the end point, what is the end game, what is the bottom line of your micro-credential program. What would I get as a learner? Would I get some form of certificate, diploma, or I can, the program has been designed with a learning pathway, flexible learning pathway that would lead to a formal qualification like diploma or a degree. Or if I'm working, I have a degree already, but I want to learn something else because I'm a lifelong learner. So the micro-credential can be designed and provide a value in terms of upskilling or reskilling and lifelong learning opportunities to support an inclusive and flexible education. So just to reiterate the point here, the current credentialing system, our 4-year degree program or diploma, is what we call micro-credential. Micro-credential is a formal educational program accredited by MQA. So now, this is credit-based, meaning that at the end, I will get 120 credits or 90 credits or 40 credits, whatever. But I can also redesign this accredited formal program and modularize it so that I can offer now a more flexible program that can be offered still as a formal program, as because we can design it as a learning pathway that would lead to a formal degree or formal diploma. But I can also design it as non-credit informal program as well. So we have a lot of choices here. Okay, and we can unbundle the whole 120 credits or 90 credit or 40 credit program into a short courses, standalone, non-stackable program. At the end, the student would get some form of recognition in the form of digital badges. So the idea here now, we are moving from formal education, so-called micro-credential or micro-credentialing system, formal learning, degree or diploma, into an informal education. And we can bridge formal education and informal or non-formal education, where people, working people now, those who have intention to get a formal qualification while working, they can do that. They can take this flexible program now at their own pace, when they like it, when they feel like they have the motivation to do it. So they have the freedom to do it as they wish. And at the end of it, those who just want to take a portion of the program, they can do that for upskilling purposes or reskilling purposes. But those who want to get a full qualification, they can go through credit transfer. So MQA have facilitated this through Apple A, Apple C, and now we have Apple M. So this is basically bridging the formal education and non-informal education. And this is where we can future-proof our education, because now when we have the whole program in terms of in the modular form, it's very easy to change the module compared to changing the whole program, because the module is smaller. That is where the flexibility is, and that is where we can kind of redesign the program as necessary, so that our program will stay relevant with the needs and demands of the workforce, of the industry, of the future, because things are keep changing. Okay, and with Micro-Credential now, we can expand the target groups. Instead of only students that come through UPU for the formal degree, we can now redesign our accredited program now into the standalone certificates, in such a way that we can offer this program to a so-called non-traditional students. Who are the non-traditional students? These are the school leavers pursuing formal qualification, people requiring upskilling, people require reskilling, and lifelong and life-wide learners. And now we can do this because MQA, I would give a credit to MQA, because they can see, they envision the future of higher education is flexible learning, flexible education, or a program that can be designed to offer one group of traditional students that come through UPU, that is a formal qualification and formal learning environment. The other group, which is a bigger group actually, are those people who are, for some reason, not able to make it. So they go out and work, but they still have intention to get a full qualification. So they can take all this Micro-Credential program, which is more modular now, more flexible, and they can get, even they don't have a minimum qualification, minimum admission requirement, they can still get a degree, get a formal qualification through FLA, and then transfer the credit from all the modules that they have taken. They can bundle it, because the program has been designed in such a way that you can bundle and unbundle the modules to get a full degree. So that's what learning pathway, when I mentioned about learning pathway, we can design it in such a way. So they can get the credit transfer through FLC, but now we also have FLM, not Apple, FLM and FLQ. So we have all the instrument already. It's just a matter of whether the institution wants to do it or not. The choice is yours. Okay. Of course, our previous minister say, let's do micro-credential. So Mohi plans to implement FLM, which to support micro-credential, by year end. Okay. So the basically, ministry, MQA is supporting micro-credential. They are pushing for this. So we have to, the ball is in our court, so to speak. So whether we want to do it or not, we have the choice. And I want to reiterate the point, micro-credential is about providing an alternative form of credentialing, providing new paths, new opportunities for so-called non-traditional students just now. Okay? Micro-credential is not so much for our full-time students currently not taking their degree program. But of course, once the program has been so-called modularized or micro-credentialized, because it's a modular form, there's nothing to stop students, the full-time students. At the same time, if they have the capacity, they can also take this micro-credential while they are doing the full-time degree. That would add value to their existing, to their first degree. For example, let's say I'm a computer science student, but I know there are micro-credential program offered by the university for the non-traditional students just now. But this micro-credential is, let's say, on business administration. So at the end of 4 years, I know I will get a computer science degree. But if I have also some, let's say, certificates on business administration, some certificates on business analytics and everything to do with business, of course, this would add value to my degree, right? So if I'm a smart student, I will take this opportunity because I will have that competitive edge when I graduate, when I go for the interview for the job. I can show that, okay, my first degree, my basic degree is computer science, but I have certificate in business analytics. I have certificates in whatever that complement my first degree. Okay, so can you see the opportunity there? So alternative credential includes certificate, industry recognized certification, licenses, badges, non-degree, nano degree, micro degrees, and so on. Okay, so can see here the type of alternative credential that we can design: non-credit training courses or programs, non-credit certificate programs, graduate credit certificate program. The master's program is good start. Instead of undergraduate 120 credits is quite big, quite overwhelming. You can start with the master's degree program. You can start with course-based master's by coursework, probably a good point to start. We can offer for, like the ODL program also in the form of micro-credential and so on. So there are so many different options that we can take, so that now with micro-credential, with the flexibility now, and with the modular type of format of program, we can provide alternative learning pathways. Learners pursuing alternative pathways to academic qualification. So now the institution can not only provide or offer diploma, degree, masters in the formal program, but it can also offer through the more flexible micro-credential program. So learners can earn credit for experiences outside an academic environment or for demonstrating competencies. So again, micro-credential is competency-based program, as opposed to 4-year formal degree or diploma program, which is time-based. So I would say in the future, moving forward, any accredited program can have another version of flexible modular program, which is the micro-credential program. So now we can cater the so-called traditional students and also the non-traditional student. We can bring our program now to a wider audience outside the formal education program. So that's a definition of micro-credential. I wouldn't read because I have explained basically some of the points. What is micro-credential just now? So you can read this. So micro-credentials are basically a short stackable courses. What does it mean by stackable? I will explain very briefly. Whether students, employees, or organization members they can take this to develop specific skill in their field. They function as a way for individuals to continue learning and developing their skill set in addition to their core educational pursuits. So you can see in this slide how micro-credential benefits individuals and organization. A micro-credential program can provide, enable organization to identify the employer skill gap, develop solution to tackle skill gap, provide rapid insight into ongoing professional development, build a culture of continuous learning, become inspired to seek new skill, boost engagement and productivity, and now you can also take accreditation anywhere. So again, the characteristics of micro-credential program is stackable. You can take this module, and you can stack them to form a complete curriculum, a complete package where you can get a full certificate, full diploma, a full degree. Recognition in the form of digital badge, it basically complement so-called lifelong learning. It is normally short and economical, affordable. You can get digital credential and is provide evidence of competency and versatility. Okay, so you can think of micro-credential as knowledge-based or skill-based. Okay, it can do a micro-credential from accredited program. Currently, you are offering, or you can also create micro-credential from the non-accredited program as well. So that's a flexibility. So stackable credential, very briefly. Basically, stackable credential is considered a credential is considered stackable when it is part of a sequence of credentials that can be accumulated over time to build up an individual qualification and help them to move along a career path or up a career ladder. So at this point, I want to jump very quickly to this slide. Okay, so this is what we call learning pathway. This is actually MMU. I use this to illustrate the concept of stackable. So this is actually MBA award, MBA degree. Okay, so this is the end game, the end point, or the bottom line. So we start from the end. So start with the end in mind, and then we work backward. So in this case, let's say there are 8 courses in this MBA, and this is actually a hybrid kind of program where 4 out of 10 courses or 8 courses in the whole MBA program, 4 courses has been is offered in the form of flexible micro-credential program. So, and then another 4 courses would be a traditional one, meaning that students have to come and attend the face-to-face classroom. Okay. So what MMU is doing here? part of the courses, they have modularized it, and the other 4 students would have to do it traditionally. Okay, so the student would enroll, and from the let's say 4 courses out of 8, for example, they have unbundled or unpacked the program into a standalone certificate. So we have here 8 certificates, which is standalone: marketing management, strategic management, entrepreneurship, business analytics, and so on. And each one of these certificate is, there are 4, actually, this slide only show 2, but there are 4 modules per certificate. So altogether, there are about 32 modules, 8 certificate. So if I'm a student, or I'm working now, but I have intention to get full MBA. So what I do now, I will enroll in this MBA program, and I know if I want to get a full MBA, I would have to do 8 certificate here and 32 modules. But since this program is designed as a flexible program, I can choose to take any of the certificate at my own time, when I have the money to pay, when I have the motivation to do it. But at the end of the day, when I complete all these 8 certificate and 32 modules, I know I can get the MBA, through credit transfer, through the FLC, and so on. But let's say in another scenario, I'm not interested to get a full MBA. I'm just interested to take only 1 or 2 of the certificate. I can do that as well. In another scenario, the third scenario, I'm not even interested to take the full any of the certificate here, but I'm interested to take 2 or 3 of the modules here. I can also do that, because all this module and the certificate has been designed in such a way that it is stand-alone. So I think that probably will give you some ideas of what micro-credential is, and how you can now start to think about how you can design your program. Maybe the final slide before I open to Q&A, I want to show this example from USM. This is actually a master's program in medical research and entrepreneurship. Okay, master's program. This is actually partly course-based or coursework, and partly involve hands-on lab practical work. So the program has been designed as a hybrid, meaning that some of the courses are designed as a micro-credential. So you can see here, the one in purple is actually designed as micro-credential program. So each one of these, you can see in the list here, these are a standalone certificate program, MC1, MC2, and so on. And same for the other 3 here. In the one in blue is actually where the students have to do it traditionally, where they have to come, because this involves practical work, hands-on, lab, clinical work. So there is one possibility where you can offer this program to maybe, I don't know, medical doctors and biomedical technician, and so on. Yeah. All right. So I think I will stop at this point. As I said just now, there are more you can learn about micro-credential, and within this short time, I will be able to cover everything. So I would encourage you to download the slides. There's a link there, and there's also QR code there. you can download the whole 199 slides here to learn more about micro-credential. So now we have like 5 to 10 minutes perhaps for Q&A. Maybe I will stop sharing the slides and open this to Q&A.
Yeah, thank you.
Dr. Isaac, back
Yes,
to
thank
you.
you, Prof.
Yeah.
For the sharing session, please, if everyone have any questions to Prof. Karim, kindly turn on your mic and ask. Yeah, Prof. Mira. Yes, Prof.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you,
Waalaikumsalam,
Prof.
Prof.
Karim. Thank you, Prof. Karim, for
How are
the.
you?
I'm actually been listening a lot to other talk as well that you have given on flexibility, but you have been, I don't know, I don't want to say that we are over promising flexibility, but seems people are still having doubt on the values of flexibility, because when you compare the program between the macro and micro, people still have that doubt on the micro credentials. So if I can just ask you on the e-portfolio just now, how can industry really use it? Because as far as I know, during the interview, industry focusing more on the skills, but I haven't seen any scenarios where industry actually asks this e-portfolio during the interview. Perhaps if you could share your experience on the e-portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Mira. Yeah, good point. There are two things there. One is people are still uncertain as how the flexibility, how micro-credential can provide the flexibility. We have to keep in mind that, again, even after 2 years, I think it's still early days, because in Malaysia, especially, I think we have not seen success stories where the whole accredited program is designed as a micro-credential. I think the example I show from MMU just now is one good example. the MBA, I'm not sure whether they have completed one full cycle, meaning that they have people who take this micro-credential MBA in the form of hybrid. I think it's good if you can invite people from MBA. I can give the names to share whether how are they doing now with that MBA, micro-credential MBA, whether they have completed one cycle and what is the lessons learned. So that would give a better idea. USM, I know now, they only roll out, just about to roll out, maybe have rolled out the first full micro-credential program based on full micro-credential undergraduate program. It's a Bachelor of Management with minor in food technology. And this program is actually in collaboration with industry, very well-known industry, food industry in Malaysia. So they just roll out the first part of the program. So I would think that the success story, how this flexibility, how flexible is micro-credential program, the success story probably would come in probably 2 years' time, if the program managed to go to the end. Yeah. So that's my answer to the how flexible is flexible, whether it's real or not. But perhaps we can see some example from outside the country as well, especially from US and so on, because they embark on this first compared to us. But we have to give it a try. So if you don't, then we would never know, and we would never learn whether this flexible education through micro-credential is just a nice thing to say, or whether it is real. Yeah. Okay. Second one, on how digital badge in the form of, e-portfolio in the form of digital badge, whether the industry would really use that and value that. Again, it's a matter of time, because one thing about Micro-Credential compared to MOOC, Massive Open Online Course, where the industry maybe not really into it, but Micro-Credential, we can see industry in Malaysia and all over the world are going towards that. And the reason being, in Malaysia, for example, the HRD Corp, HRDC now, is really championing or advocating Micro-Credential. So what does that mean? That means how many thousands of training providers offering courses through HRDC would have now, or are encouraged now, to offer their training program through using Micro-Credential format. So with that, if they do it properly, they can offer their Micro-Credential through HRDC platform, which is called eLatte, or through their own platform, or through other various online platform. And they can instead of just certificate of attendance or certificate of accomplishment, they can now create a digital badge which provide the evidence of competency. Previously, many of the courses, short courses and so on, workshops even, people attend and they get a certificate of attendance. And then we don't know whether they apply what kind of skill, whether the skill can really transferable, whether they apply the skill in their workplace, improve their productivity or not, because there is no evidence of competency. But now we can use that evidence of competency and we can incorporate that in the digital badge. For example, let's say I offer a module on how to create a training module using Google Site. So the skill is actually to create a training module using Google Site. So the competency, the evidence of competency, the assessment would be the student have to submit the training module and they must create that training module using Google Site. So as the instructor for the course, I would evaluate, and if I'm happy, I'm satisfied, then only student will get the digital badge, evidence of competency. And then the student now can embed the training module inside the digital badge. So I think the employers now start to realize the value of e-portfolio or digital badge, because it provides more information, more evidence of competency. So now they can shortlist the candidate, and they know when they call 5 candidates, all these 5 candidates are equally good, but it's just a matter of how they perform during the interview. So that's a long answer, I know, to Prof. Mira's question, because I need to explain it to make it very clear.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Karim.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Okay, Prof. We have one question from Ahmad Rauyani. Prof, how ready employers out there to hire student graduate from full-fledged micro-credential course?
Yeah, the readiness of the employers, because there's always a question at the back of many people's mind, including the employers, whether the online, especially if the micro-credential is offered as fully online, because there's always a perception that the online program is perhaps, in terms of quality of the graduates, quality of the qualification, is not as equivalent. It's not equivalent to the full-time program. This is the perception, and we need to counter this. How? So that's why we have to be very meticulous, very careful when we design, when we have to get it right the first time, meaning that when we design any micro-credential program, whether it is from accredited program or non-accredited program, we must deliver the promise of the outcome of the program. So that we don't compromise in terms of the quality. Remember, it's competency-based, meaning that the assessment must be designed to really demonstrate that the learners have acquired that particular skill or knowledge that we have promised in the learning outcome. Only when they have demonstrated that, only they will get. So when they go out, and let's say someone may, let's say like Kelvin, Dr. Ajay, Kelvin, because he's always looking for, let's say, instructional designers or learning designers for his company. So he went online. He goes online and check. Okay, there are 5 candidates. He checked the digital badge or e-portfolio. He can see that the students have already have the skill set that he wants, and he will call for interview. So imagine that these 5 candidates have gone through the micro-credential program, and then the employer decide to hire, but it turned out that the person are not able to demonstrate that skill. So this is where the employers will lose faith or confidence in micro-credential program. So we need to be very careful when we design it. We don't just simply design and go and offer the program, because it can backfire. There can be a backlash because we cannot produce the same level of quality as the traditional full-time or face-to-face program.
All right. Okay. So do we have any last questions from the audience? Or should we?
Can see one from Mr. Hai Rayu here.
Yeah, salam Prof. My question, if we implement micro-credential, is that mean we will have less interaction with students, just like COVID time?
It depends on depends on how we design the whole program. For example, just now we saw for the MBA's program, they design it as a hybrid program. So assuming that the 4 courses that they offer as traditional program, where the student would have to come face to face and classroom, in-person kind of classroom, then that is where we assume. I think we always assume that the physical face-to-face classroom, we would have more interaction. Is it true? It depends. I think by and large, if we go to any classroom nowadays, sit in any classroom nowadays, how much interaction is there? Basically, it's still very much lecture based.
Yes.
80% of the time, the lecturer read the slides and talking, and 10 or 20% only there'll be some interaction and discussion. Well, things are changing now. I would think that more and more classes are now physical, face-to-face classes become more and more interactive now. But I am quite confident to say that 70 to 80%, if you go to any classroom, even at IIUM now, just go to any classroom if your colleague allow you. very still lecture based, very little interaction. But the online program, don't underestimate. If we know how to design it to incorporate the interactivity, to incorporate the interaction and so on, it can be interactive. Yeah, but of course, the experience would be different. The experience will be different. You can have very interactive online and very interactive face-to-face class, but the experience of interactive face-to-face class would be, I would say, different from the online. Whether it's better or not, that is something, it's a different issue, different question. But the experience will be different. Okay, so that's basically my answer is
Probably ask probably two questions. One is because assuming that you have a full degree, one of the thing is we want to develop a holistic student with the communication skill, all the skills required as a normal degree program. How does that translate when we do it 100% online or 100% micro-credential as a program? Because the transferable skills that they learn while they are in classroom. So that is one. And another question is on the portfolio, because you are talking about the employer asking for credential. Is it advisable if we were to if the student if we were to develop, or if the student are able to, how do you put it in a point form, all their learning artifacts to be as an evidence to the employer? Would that help the future employer in that sense? So two questions in one.
Thank you. Tak dapat nama tadi
Syamsul.
Okay, Dr. Syamsul. Yeah, I answer the second questions. The value in e-portfolio or digital badge is the ability to add or to embed the learning artifacts. So students would have the opportunity now to showcase to the prospective employers their best learning artifacts, their best assignment, their best coding program, their best whatever, that during the 4 years, they can choose what they want to showcase to the prospective employers. And assuming that in the future, the employers would use e-portfolio more, then I think it will be it would benefit the graduates now to really use e-portfolio or digital badge to show their strength, to show how they are different, or to show to the employer why you should hire me before even you call me for interview. I can put 1 minute or 2 minutes video pitching about me, about myself, about the value of me as your prospective staff in that e-portfolio. So if I design the video, the 2 minutes pitching video very well, the employer would see, wow, this guy can talk, this guy can communicate, that this guy has a very positive vibes, positive aura. Then they start to look at what this guy has done in the 4 years. They look at the example of program or coding or apps that he or she has developed, and so many things the students can showcase in the e-portfolio or digital badge. Okay, there is no second question. This first question is about apa lupa pula tadi the first question. The first question about
I mean transferable experience from the offline, because you're gonna have all the discussion, communication skill, all the problem solving, bergaduh dalam kelas, all those things. How do that transfer into an online environment? Because that could be one of the experience that they learn before they work.
Totally agree. That's why I think if you ask me again, if I want to design a micro-credential program, I will design it for different group. One group is those who will have no opportunity to attend face-to-face class, so they will be fully online. Another group I would design for hybrid. I would design a micro-credential in the form of blended or hybrid program, meaning that 80% will be online, or 50% will be online, 50% will be in person. Because when they come for physical face-to-face kind of traditional classroom, that is where I would really give all this experience where I want to develop their communication skill, all those things lah. But keep in mind, for the online portion, there is a synchronous and asynchronous kan. So meaning that the asynchronous would be self-learning on their own, independent. But I can also design 50% of that online as synchronous, where now student would be like what we are doing now. They can still interact with me. I can still design the activity that would get students to talk to each other, to talk to me, and so on. So what I'm trying to say here, we need to learn the skill to design our online portion of our micro-credential so that we can develop all the skill that we want, the same skill that we want to develop for face-to-face class, and we can do that also in the online class. So that's why we need to learn the right way of doing it. So I hope that answered the questions.
Yes, Prof. Thanks, Prof.
Okay, so it's possible. Don't worry, it's possible. But we need just kena buat dulu lah. Just do it lah. Kena buat dulu, then we learn on the go. We learn as we do it. We learn from the feedback and so on.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So I believe that will be all the questions for today. But before we end the session, I would like to invite every participant to turn on the camera, and we're going to take a picture, a quick screenshots for today's session.
How many? Oh yeah, we have about
We
quite
have
not bad.
about 78 participants to 80 participants.
Thank you for joining. Thank you. Really appreciate your attendance, your presence this morning.
So is everyone ready? Fira, are you ready to take screenshots?
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, everyone ready? Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, smile.
Say cheese.
Okay, move to the next. Okay. Again. 1, 2, 3, smile. So next page.
By the way, if you are on Facebook, if you follow me as a friend, I'm writing every day about the Palestinian-Israel conflict now. Just my contribution to give a voice to our Palestinian brothers, sisters in Palestine now, and let us also pray for them.
Inshallah. And Fira, are we done with the photography session?
Okay, done. Done.
Okay, all right. So just to conclude from today's session, I would say micro-credential is a way to move forward in our education system. And then maybe from whatever Prof shared today, I can suggest that for those who like to try this micro-credential, try with your own course, the course that you're already teaching right now, try to convert it a little bit to a micro-credential part a bit, so that you can test out with your own student for this one semester, see to get the feedbacks and see how easy or how hard to develop this micro-credential on your side. Then we can plan for a more vast and robust kind of micro-credential in future, so that we can offer as a degree or diploma in the future. So all in all, I would like to really thank Prof. Karim for this session today. And I would like to thank all participants for coming to this session today. Hopefully we can see again soon, and we can hear from Prof. Karim again soon. And let's end our session today with tasbih, farah, and surah wal subhanallah.
Before that, Dr. Aizat, I have shared the link also again in the chat.
Oh yeah, all right.
Download the PowerPoint, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's end. You share the link dekat mana ya, Prof?
Dekat chat.
Chat box for the slides.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay, wait. Tadi, okay, I share to everyone now. Tadi,
Okay,
ada ya?
ada.
Yeah, feel free to download about 200 slides there.
Yes.
And feel free to share and reuse whatever way you like. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you so
Prof.
much,
Thank you, Promira and Dr. Aizan and UIA for this invitation for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Mm.